Welcome to the Get Real with King Arthur show. And I'm King Arthur. Today I want to talk about the fact that I am legally blind. Now, sometimes people say to me, after I've known them for a while, we didn't know you were legally blind. Well, good. But most people know it very well because I get around with a walker. Now, I have a wonderful Danish walker, and Queen Victoria may tell me the name of it, if she can find it. And it's made out of carbon, and so it weighs only 12.5 pounds. It is quite stylish. Well, I talk about being legally blind, maybe more than once. I've had people say to me, do you mind if I ask you a question about what it's like to be legally blind? And I say, well, no, I wrote a book on it called I See, Said the Blind Man. And I am quite at home with it, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I like to talk about it. And I want to talk about it to you for several reasons. You may be having vision problems. In San Diego, there are thousands with vision problems. And you go to Dr. Bukowski and they're packed, the waiting room is packed with people with vision problems. And as you get older, dear friends, you may start getting vision problems, because I had wonderful vision. I was in the Army. I didn't wear glasses till I was 30. And then in my 60s, I started getting macular degeneration. It's a very popular kind of problem. Everyone gets macular degeneration. Now, there are two kinds, the wet and the dry. With the wet, you need to rush immediately to the doctor because they can do something about it. They can cauterize those blood vessels. With the dry, there's not much that can be done, unfortunately. I have the dry. Now, you say, well, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Well, look at an Amsler grid. If you don't know what an Amsler grid is, well, look it up on your iPhone. It's a series of crisscrossing lines. And if they're wavy, you better run to the doctor. Now, I first want to talk, first, you may now or in the future have eye problems. Well, I want to prepare you for it, because I get along quite well, I must tell you. Secondly, you will no doubt deal with people who have eye problems. And I like to talk about how to do that. When I was growing up, I used to be scared of blind people. Oh, they look so serious. Oh, they're blind. And they never seemed to smile. They never laughed. They never relaxed. They just had this gloom of visage on them. Well, I try not to be like that. I want to smile. I want to laugh. Blindness is just part of me. I sometimes forget that I am till I try to walk around. By the way, I am very strong. I'm stronger than I was 10 years ago because I exercise. And so, but my eyes are weaker and getting weaker. Now, they tell me I'll never go completely blind because with macular degeneration, it's the macula, the center vision, which goes. And so your side vision, you still have some, thank goodness. So I still see some, thank goodness. And so I want to talk about how to deal with blind people today. First, don't pity them. I mean, pity is a non-conductor. However, please make some allowance for them. Sometimes I get criticized for that I, lose things. Well, oh my goodness. Anyway, give us a little slack. Or I don't go to church as regularly as I used to. Well, it's not easy for me to get to church. So someone said to me, why don't you ask for a ride? I said, I don't beg. And maybe I do ask Pete for help sometimes, but giving me a ride is a major project. Because not only do you have to take me to the place, you've got to walk with me to, if it's church, to the sanctuary and back. Or if it's to a restaurant, you have to walk with me in a restaurant. Now, in my swim club, once they take me, Victoria or Greg takes me to the swim club, I can get around the swim club by myself with my walker because there are no steps, and I can see things enough to get around. So I have my little independence there. And around my house, I get around quite well. I hold on to things as much as possible, always. Now, I have to say, don't rely on a mobility cane. Now, that's what I did for a while. And I like those big, long, white mobility canes. But they are not good enough. And I, with my mobility cane, once on Broadway, I took a bus down to my gym club, and the curb was uneven, and I missed it or something, and I started waving around to get my balance, and finally got it. Almost fell. And finally, I did fall at the gym. I reached for something to hold on to, and it wasn't there, and down I went, and I fractured my hip, and I was 5 weeks in rehab. So, the walker, thank God, the doctor said the therapist was going to take me out with the mobility cane. The therapist said, nothing doing. He's going to have to walk her. And so I have a walker, and it rolls, and it's quite easy and rather stylish. So anyway, how to treat a blind person? Well, just treat him like you treat anybody else, except do not, one little thing is, do not grab hold of the walker. Say left or right. Give verbal instructions, because he can go by verbal instructions. If you grab hold on the walker, he is not going to know, or she, where you push it, which way direction you're going in. So say left, right, a little left, a little right, forward, sort of things, and that's fine. And sometimes I guess you have to hold on to the walker when it's tricky or whatnot. So how to react to a blind person? Well, I think it's a little more difficult conversationally because the blind person cannot see your lips. So you need to articulate very clearly if you can. And help when he asks or she asks for help. And just act normally and joke and laugh and whatever. Blindness is only a little part of my life. Well, maybe a bigger part. But I do well. And I see some. In my mind, I see quite a bit, lots of things. And I, thank goodness, I have ears, not perfect, but I listen to books on tape. And you say you don't read Braille? No, I tried. But I'm a little old to learn Braille. I think I know it, how many dots, the configuration I'm supposed to feel. But feeling it is something else. Anyhow, it's okay for those that can do it. So now, I think the government can do more for blind people. Now, for example, we get very little tax reduction for being blind. I don't know how to get along without help. And I just, don't say, someone here, help me. They have to take time. And it's quite an expense. It's a good expense. So thank God I can do it. But not much help at all. Then they need to work on leveling streets. Now, I live in North Park in San Diego, and some new sidewalks are wonderful. The old ones are treacherous for a blind person, and the road is often treacherous. And I do appreciate the ding-dongs at crossing. I'm such a bad person. I used to get a little irritated with those beep, 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 beep things. Shame on me. They're a great help. And so to be a little tolerant of when I can't find things, and the government can give me a little tax break, please, 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 and help with the sidewalks. And another little thing, friends, in your house, make sure you have railings to steps. And when you go, I sometimes go to an Airbnb, and to get into the pool, there are no railings. Well, getting out, last summer, I scraped my arm pretty severely trying to get out of a pool with no railings or steps. So those are little hints. And please be tolerant. I know I should eat more neatly, but when you can't see the food, try putting a blindfold over your eyes and eating. Well, sometimes we spill food onto the table, and the waitresses and waiters are very generous. And most people are really very helpful. I have an office on campus, and I like it when I'll be standing waiting for Victoria to help me, and she has to get the car, and they will say to me, do you need help crossing the street? Oh, that is so sweet of them, so welcome. And I'm so thankful for people that try to be helpful. That's great. And you need to be thankful for all things. There are some pluses in being blind. Oh, I love books on tape. Thank God that the government distributes discs with 6 books on them, read very well, and a little machine, they donate it. And you stick the book in the machine, the little disc, and it reads, incredibly. Then I have, thanks to my sister, an Alexa machine. Fantastic. Alexa, you have to buy most of the books, but they have all kinds of books and they read well, and you can stop and start, and you don't have to use your fingers or hands at all. One problem is with the iPhone is they want you always to rub your finger this and that way. It is impossible. I can't rub my finger this direction, that direction. Well, anyhow, we can get along well with being blind. One of my friends says, "Oh, I just couldn't stand being blind. I'd rather die." No. It's the mind is when it's accurate, and you read and think and see some, and so life goes on, and so join the party, and we'll be happy. And I got some more things to say about blindness, but I am happy, basically. Oh, I have a little downturn, but I've learned to live, and my assistants are great, and they're fun, even. What do you know?
Aww.
Oh, see, Queen Victoria responded. She laughs a little bit. Well, tune in next week, and we will say more about blindness. And I hope you're on the wagon here as you travel along and meet blind people. And maybe yourself get a little dim around the eyes. Okay, goodbye.